Ben Howard, I Forget Where We Were, is not me asking Ben where we were. It's the name of this record. This very, very fine record, bordering on nearly perfect. This was released late last year on the Island Records record label. Ben hails from the United Kingdom, and he brings a musical sensibility that is very rarely found in the coffee house style music that he performs. One of his previous albums is categorized under the folk music label. This one is labeled under the rock label, and this album in particular is the perfect bridge for people who perhaps tend to prefer heavier music, but are looking for something that they can play when they have company over without it being obtrusive and without it being music that they themselves can't stand. Which is to say, Ben Howard seems to be a folk artist that isn't afraid to add a darker instrumentation and arrangements to his songs. He's an excellent guitar player, and he is I find, a phenomenal song crafter, both musically and lyrically, to the point where I think it really is extremely rare to find a person of his talent in a person of his age. Ben seems to wear his influences, or what I'm assuming are his influences, on his sleeve, and yet sounds unlike almost anything else I've ever heard before. Except to say that, you know, I hear influences like Elliott Smith. I hear influences like Jeff Buckley. I hear influences like Jason Molina, otherwise known as Songs Ohia. I hear influences like Nick Drake. I hear influences like Nick Cave, and yet. And I also hear, say, latter year American recordings, Johnny Cash, which is to say there is a darkness to the arrangements of these songs without them being loud, without them being in your face, without them being inaccessible. I discovered Ben through a song that was used during a montage of dead people and other people walking on a show called, interestingly enough, The Walking Dead. And it's a perfect... the song is called Oats in the Water. It does not appear on this record. It appears on an EP that was released about 4 or 5 years ago now. I definitely recommend you also check out that. Ben Howard writes a style of song that can very easily fit in just as much in a coffee house as it can a background to some very, very tense moments on a show like The Walking Dead. I kind of equate his songwriting and the songs that are on this record kind of to something like maybe a David Fincher film, where you never have anything less than very tense moments throughout an entire David Fincher film, and yet not every single scene is filled with heart-pounding action or heart-pounding moments, but there's always something that is always threatening to be loosed on the listener, in David's case, the viewer. In Ben's case, there's always a I don't want to say sinister, but again, the best word I can think of is dark. There's a darkness to the song crafting on this record that is very, very enthralling and extremely. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. It keeps you engaged, and that is extremely rare for an album, as good as many albums can be, and as good as many albums are. Sometimes it does really require active listening. The act of saying, okay, I'm not going to let myself get distracted. I'm going to maintain focus on what I'm listening to. This album doesn't let you get distracted from it, which is very, very rare. So if you like sort of more acoustic-y type sounds, he does play electric guitar, but if you like those acoustic-y, sparse arrangement type songs, I very strongly recommend you check out Ben Howard's I Forget Where We Were. You will not be disappointed if you like that folk rock mixed with a darker sensibility. It's definitely worth checking out. Go out right now, get Ben Howard's I Forget Where We Were. You will not be disappointed. My name is Daryl. I've been your critic. This is Album a Day Online, which I really should change the title to and call it more like Album Every Now and Again Online. Like, subscribe, share. Tell me in the comments below, tell me about an artist that you think I should check out that also writes music that's perfectly suited for those darker moments on television shows like The Walking Dead, or Blacklist maybe, or Hannibal, or something like that. I'll see you later. Don't stop listening to new music. Don't stop discovering new music. Don't stop listening to music. Music is good. I'll see you again.